Welcome back to the 41st ever episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. My name is Andrei, Jikh, and I have my two guests here, Grahamstephan and Jack. Hi, how you guys doing?
Hi,
Why are you here?
we're doing
Why are you in my
so
house?
well. Hey, I got one question for you.
Hey.
How much have we made on the podcast so far?
You guys made $40,515.54.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a great introduction. Thanks so much for coming on, Andrei.
Hello, love.
Your go-to line now is wow.
Wow, amazing
That was the
intro.
best one we've had
But
yet.
do it like Dogecoin style. Much wow.
Well, welcome. Now,
Thank you.
for those that don't know you, Andrei,
Thank you.
you have a YouTube channel. You're the Las Vegas Graham.
Right.
You have another personal finance channel on YouTube.
Way to insult your guest.
1.3 million subscribers
Almost
now.
1.3.
Congratulations.
And
Thank
growing
you.
at a rapid rate as well.
It is rapid. The rate is rapid. It's really rapid-ash. What are we talking about here?
We're going to talk crypto today.
Okay.
We're going to talk crypto. We're going to talk a whole bunch of personal finance and investing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about us hiring someone new
Nice.
to come join on the team.
I will not be applying.
You don't want the job?
what?
You don't want the job? No.
We wouldn't
All right,
hire you
I'll
anyway.
apply.
All right. But yeah, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, we were talking about ad revenue. Are we comparing
Yeah, what's your to-date revenue?
my to date one?
Yeah.
Gosh. Do you want me to send, how do I send you a screenshot or you just want me to
Yeah,
say
just
it?
take a screenshot, sure.
I'll send it to you.
But really quick, you guys, we have to thank Backblaze for sponsoring this episode. In this world, we really only need 4 things to survive: food, water, oxygen, and access to data. Graham and I collaborate to produce 7 videos a week. We have more than 20 SD cards, 4 cameras, and files flying all over the place. With so many moving parts, there's a ton of potential for complications, which is really costly when you're in business. One time, we lost an entire video that we were going to post due to not backing up footage. Fortunately, Backblaze exists for this exact reason. Backblaze is an amazing service that allows for unlimited computer backup for 30 days and is only $6 a month. You can back up any digital data, from the newest Millennial Money video to Uncle Phil's family vacation photo album. It's the cloud. You have access to these files anywhere you have the internet. Is 30 days not long enough for you? For an extra $2 a month, you can increase your retention history to a whole year. Visit backblaze.com/icedcoffee for a free trial. Be sure to use that link, backblaze.com/icedcoffee, so they know where you came from and to continue to support the show. Once again, that is backblaze.com/icedcoffee. Protect yourself today. Thank you, Backblaze, and back to the podcast.
But I think today I'm going to officially break 1 million. I'm right
Today?
now. Today. I'm at $997,394.59, but I've been averaging 6,000 to 7,000 a day on rad revenue.
Holy crap. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
This
That's
calls
a-
for a celebration.
That's a big milestone.
That's a
Yeah.
huge
to say you made $1
milestone.
million in YouTube
And
ad revenue.
That's insane, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
But now here's the kicker, is that I bet most of that was in the last year, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, let's see. My 2020, oh man, this doesn't give me a breakdown for the years. But yeah, my January was 104,000. My February so far is 90,000. So I guess, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The IRS has entered the chat. I love
That's
when people
really
are
why
like-
we're doing this. Graham's an insider agent.
It's so funny because every time I post about my income,
Yeah.
every single time, so it's like the
IRS
IRS
has
has just
entered the chat.
Or they say California has just entered the chat.
Well, I don't even
But
know
yeah.
how California is letting you leave.
We'll see.
I guess we'll find out.
I've legitimately leaved. I've changed.
I've leaved.
left. Anyway, congratulations on
Thanks,
the ad
man.
revenue.
Thank you,
That's
thank you.
really exciting.
Yeah. What are you at right now?
On ad revenue,
Yeah.
I think 3 something.
Jesus.
It's been wild.
But
Here,
you've
let's see.
been on YouTube since 2017 or 16?
Yeah, technically 2016.
Yeah.
Because it was the day after Christmas. So December 26th is the first day I started.
But
I didn't,
realistically, 2017.
yeah,
Yeah.
January. It was lifetime. Wow. $3,745,697.39.
Wow.
Do you still
4.
check that at all, Graham?
What do you mean?
The lifetime revenue. Do you
Lifetime?
ever check it?
No. Rarely. I like to see the graph going up over time, and as long as it's doing that.
You don't say.
Yeah, as long as it's going up, I know I'm on the right track. So, but anyway,
it's crazy. I can't believe this is real. Just sitting here and being able to say that out loud. I know people watching this are probably so desensitized to this because everybody on the internet's a millionaire. but I don't take that for granted. Like this is crazy just to be able to like sit here and do videos and like, that's crazy. Work without a boss. Like that, what?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's incredible.
It's probably because you still live a really modest life.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really settled in yet. Maybe.
No, I don't think it will because I don't think I'll ever like live a crazy life.
How long have you been in your current place for?
In the one I'm renting?
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years.
A little over 5 years.
And what's your rent? Your rent's like $1,500 a month, right?
$1,400 split between 3 people. So $450 for each of us.
Wow. And so you've kept the same $450 a month apartment
Yeah.
for 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been saving a lot of money, which is great. Because there's a foreshadowing. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Wow. We'll have to see what that is. But you've been investing a lot of the money lately in crypto.
I have, yeah, I
What
did.
got you into crypto? What's your total portfolio right now? You got to be at like 700
And
grand
what's your
now.
principal and what's the amount of profit you
Yeah,
made?
yeah, I'll show you. So I know my principal is around $100,000. So I'm going to open up my BlockFi. So I buy my crypto off of Gemini, but I know Coinbase is like equally as good.
All right.
So if people are using Coinbase, that one works too. They're honestly both great. I wouldn't buy it on like Robinhood because Robinhood and all those free brokerages, they don't let you take your coins off. So which means you're kind of buying a derivative. You're buying a promise from them, which is not what you want to do because the whole idea of crypto is that you have sovereignty over your money. Mm-hmm. And so by using these more expensive crypto brokerages like a Gemini or like a Coinbase, you have the option to remove it and to go somewhere else, which is you want that freedom. So I use BlockFi. You could go to blockfi.com/Andrei. You'll get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin. Anyway, that's
How do I get $250 worth of free Bitcoin? How much do I have to
What's
deposit?
the average?
Yeah, you got to deposit. I don't know what actually the amount is to get up to $250.
It's got to be like 100 grand.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it's that high.
Yeah, a lot of those bank sign-up bonuses that I get, like, get up to $1,000 on us, and you look at it, it's like,
deposit $1 million.
yeah, deposit $2.5 million. It's like that was clickbait. Like, don't put that in the headline. Like, how many
Yeah.
people are really looking at an email? Okay, 688.
Yeah,
How many-
$688,740. So almost $7,000 in interest paid out. So I think the average interest rate because like after a certain amount of Bitcoin, I think like after 1 or 2, maybe 3, the interest rate drops. And I'm guessing that they're not going to have this kind of 8.6% interest rate forever. Mm-hmm. It's as they mature, I'm sure it'll lower. But it's 8.6% on USDC, which is the stable coin, 1-for-1. And yeah, 8.6% interest, but I'm making like $1,500 a month on interest alone.
3 times your rent.
Yeah, three times
Wow,
my rent.
yeah.
Which is crazy, right? So like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to keep your crypto online, you should never keep it online unless you're getting compensated for it. That's like the biggest tip. Because like most people that buy crypto, they always hold it on the brokerage they bought. Because like getting into the cold storage stuff is like, we could talk about it, but it's so complicated. People are just like, whatever, I'll keep it on Coinbase or Robinhood or wherever. And what sucks is like they're taking the risk because if those brokerages get hacked, your coins are gone. And you hope that company will give you your money back. But in the case that it doesn't, that would suck. So if you're going to take that risk, you should be getting paid interest. You might as well. Unless you don't want to take the risk, then you should take it, offline to like cold storage. I use like the Ledger Nano, but I know there's a ton of companies out there.
What do you think the likelihood is, though, that one of those brokerages gets hacked? I would imagine that would be like...
I feel like it's inevitable.
For Coinbase to get hacked, let's say, that's got to be a huge thing. And if there's a hack, they're not just taking like $1 million.
And also, is there any insurance on Coinbase?
Yeah, they're all insured for sure. I don't know like
by what.
What's up?
By what? It's not like FDIC.
Like Lloyd Bank or something. I'm not sure which insurance they use, but it's insured probably up to maybe more than $100 million. I know all of them. That's like pretty much at minimum. They use a lot of insurance, but even at $100 billion, that's kind of a drop in the bucket when their custody is billions of dollars.
I'm almost thinking that if there is a hack, let's say of Coinbase, someone's going in and taking everything.
Yeah.
So like that would completely crash the crypto market if a Coinbase was to get hacked.
It probably would because of the fear, which kind of sucks because that doesn't mean the blockchain is hacked. It just means that company was. Same thing that happened to Mt. Gox, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys remember or don't remember.
Explain it, yeah.
Mt. Gox was basically this website that was a front for Magic the Gathering originally. And so the CEO, Mark Karpeles, the guy who originally owned it, he was a Magic the Gathering guy. And then somehow they like converted their website to a Bitcoin custodial like brokerage service. And because they didn't have their security right, because they were like a, trading card website, they got hacked. And that was like probably like the biggest scandal in all of Bitcoin was that.
And how much did that affect the price of Bitcoin?
Oh, it crashed it.
It crashed
like
it hugely.
90%, right?
Yeah, 90%. But
how long ago was that?
I think that was like
2012.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, somewhere around there. And I don't know if that thing has been resolved yet. I think people are still waiting to get their money back, but they will.
But would they get the money back for what it was worth back then?
No, it won't. They won't. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to get their millions of dollars back because people had thousands of Bitcoins. It's like, that's not going to happen.
They would pay out what it was worth back then, most likely,
exactly.
which is like, I don't know what it was, a few
couple
dollars.
$1,000.
Yeah.
No, back then it was like maybe $100, $300. Yeah,
sure.
Because they probably would have held like to date,
100%,
or at least until it appreciated quite a bit.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's crazy. But speaking of those 90% crashes, I don't think we'll see one anytime soon, right? Because like how much money has entered the crypto sphere now? We're almost at $1 trillion market cap. So for crypto whales like we've had before to like influence the price 90% is going to take so much money. You're going to have like companies from the S&P 500 that need to collude together to manipulate the price to the extent that it used to be manipulated when it was like at $100 billion market cap. So I don't think we'll see that again, but it's a possibility. So I'm not writing it off, but we could crash again. But it seems like at this point in time, the support level is like $30,000, but it's Bitcoin. So who knows? It could go down to 15,000, it could go 10,000 tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know what's the catalyst, but that's the downside. The upside though, is there's so many catalysts still. Like today I made a video about, Apple entering the crypto sphere, MasterCard, Venmo, like it's crazy what's going on. Miami became the first municipality or the first city that started integrating Bitcoin into its city. So now people are going to be able to pay their city fines and taxes with Bitcoin, and they'll be able to get a portion of their salary be paid out in Bitcoin too. That's crazy.
My understanding though, Bitcoin is horrible in terms of moving it from one person to another.
Yeah, as a currency, it's not there yet because of what's called the scaling issue. So we want to talk about that. That's a really complicated thing.
Can you explain it?
Yeah, so here's the thing with Bitcoin, and I'm just going to preface this with saying like I'm not the best person to explain it. So I'll just explain it in the way that I understand it. But basically with Bitcoin, there's kind of like a bottleneck, meaning that if you and I are going to use Bitcoin, the way that it works is like there is these blocks, right? And they're 1 megabyte in size. So you can kind of think of like a Rubik's Cube. And inside this Rubik's Cube are coins or transactions. So anytime I send you a Bitcoin or you send me a Bitcoin, those transactions get sent to this block. Now, this Rubik's Cube needs to be solved in order to have these rewards be distributed amongst the people who are solving them. So those are the miners. They use their computing power to basically solve these blocks and then get rewarded for doing so. That's the incentive. So the other analogy to this are these miners are also like bus drivers. So every 10 minutes, this bus arrives to take their transactions and they go. And that means that once this block is confirmed or solved, our transactions get confirmed, right? That's the way it works. Are you with me so far? Jack does not look like he's
I don't
with me so
understand
far.
what do you mean the transactions get confirmed? It's just when the bus leaves, right?
Yes. So what I mean by that is this.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, no. So what it means is this. So whenever we use something like Visa or whatever, MasterCard, our transactions are confirmed instantaneously. On the back end, they don't. It's a little bit more complicated. But to us, the users, it's confirmed instantaneously. That makes it a good currency, quote unquote, like a good system to transact because it's instantaneous, right? Whereas Bitcoin, you have to wait on average 10 minutes for your transaction to be confirmed, which sucks because like if I'm shopping for something and if I'm scanning my debit card, I can't wait for 10 minutes for the merchant to be like, okay, cool, transactions is through, here's the product. That's doesn't work. So that's the scaling problem. It's like, how do we scale Bitcoin to include more transactions to be confirmed quicker? AKA in this analogy, how do we get more buses to arrive quicker and not every 10 minutes? You can't. That was how Bitcoin was designed. It was designed to be specifically that way. So it means it's slow and clunky and expensive because the more popular Bitcoin becomes, the more the price goes up, then it means the more people are competing. So if you think about the bus analogy, you think of the bus stop. That's called the mempool. So the bus stop has its own name. That's the mempool. Anytime we send transactions to each other, our transactions get first sent to the mempool, which is the bus stop. Anytime this bus arrives, think of it like we have to bid against one another to be included on the bus. So we compete by sending with our transactions a minor fee. It's not free to just get your transaction included in the block. You have to pay a fee. The fee is nominal. It's very small, right? But the more expensive Bitcoin becomes, the more you are paying. And the more people are using Bitcoin and the more popular it becomes outrageously expensive to the point where if I want to send you $1, I have to bribe the bus driver $100 to get included in the transaction, which sucks. Like I don't want to send $1 and spend $100 just to do that. So that's where we hit the wall of the scaling solution or the scaling problem.
But first, we have to thank our amazing sponsor, Vessy. Guys, Vessys are absolutely amazing. They are literally all Graham and I wear now for a multitude of reasons. First off, they're incredibly comfortable. Not only can I wear them for long walks outside, but I actually use them as slippers too. I just fold the back down and boom, now I'm ready to relax. Second off, they're actually waterproof, not just resistant. I know for a fact I can count on my Vessys to keep my feet dry in any given circumstance. Finally, my Vessys are super cool and stylish. I feel confident wearing my Vessys to any occasion. I can dress up, dress down, or just dress casual. It's an all-in-one shoe. Another thing that I love about my Vessys is that they are super cost effective. Because shoes wear out so quickly, the average person spends $419 per year on footwear. We of course know that's outrageous, and with Vessys, all you need is one pair and that will easily last you a year and for every occasion. You can cut your footwear bill down drastically and save some money on the side for some lucrative Dogecoin investments. So please guys, visit Vessy.com/icedcoffee and get $25 off your pair of Vessys. Trust me, you will love these things. Support this podcast by visiting Vessy.com/icedcoffee or use code ICEDCOFFEE at checkout. Once again, $25 off your pair of shoes. Thank you so much, Vessy, for sponsoring this episode, and back to the podcast.
I noticed that when I was buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, the fees were outrageous. Like it was a lot.
But that's
in
when you do a
fees.
market order. You never do them. Are we doing market orders?
No, it has nothing to do with market orders.
Doesn't Coinbase?
They have their own like back end system, which I forget what Coinbase is. It's called.
Coinbase wasn't bad at all.
No. So each of these big brokerages, they have like their back end systems. So what we see in the front end are like the market, whatever. You could place a limit order on them too, but you're still going to pay the fees. If you want to pay less fees, you have to use their like pro software, which I think is free.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
I have
Yeah,
Coinbase Pro as
Pro.
well, but they also I don't know if they still have fees.
They do.
They do,
It's
small,
less.
but you're a
so
lot.
it's
It's
like
a
a
lot more
fraction of a
flexible.
percent.
But that's not the problem. The problem is not the software. The problem is when Bitcoin is really popular, even that software, you're still going to be paying insane amounts of money. But the catch with Bitcoin is you don't have to attach a fee to the transaction. So if you don't want to pay the bus driver, you will eventually be included on the bus, provided that there's not that many people in the mempool waiting to get included as well. Because like what could happen is you could send a transaction, not pay a fee, but then get included like a week later or a month later. Like imagine you bought something and you're like waiting for a month. So that problem has been with Bitcoin since the beginning of time. And Bitcoin has forked, which is like where it's split, and people have different like protocols and different solutions for their vision of what Bitcoin should be, of how it can scale, which is why you hear all the time people are like, Cardano's better, Ethereum's better, whatever's better, is because it's a better form of currency because it's confirmed quicker or whatever it is.
So why are people trying to use Bitcoin as a currency? What would be the purpose of accepting taxes in Bitcoin besides just the hype of just being like, ooh, we pay taxes with Bitcoin?
Right. Yeah, there isn't any. If you're not like a money nerd, it doesn't make any sense to. Which is why I believe in 2017, Bitcoin finally kind of figured out the narrative of what it was meant to be. Because for the longest time, the crypto community had a war, like an internal war with each other. One side of people wanted it to be a currency, and the other side wanted it to be a store of value. And so for the first time in 2017, that's when I like really saw the crypto sphere like take off. In 2017 was Bitcoin split into two. It was Bitcoin Core at the time, I believe. It was just Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I don't know if you've heard of Bitcoin Cash.
Yep.
You've heard of that one. And that was the first like original fork that split. And its ethos was, let's use Bitcoin as a currency. So the difference between those two, and this is something most people don't even they don't know, they don't go that far in the research, is that Bitcoin Cash has a different scaling solution. So now you've understood the problem, right? Hopefully you understand it's slow, it's clunky. There's two main solutions to this problem that people are doing. It's either scale on chain, on the blockchain, or scale off chain, off the blockchain. So these are the two differences. On chain means let's change the base protocol of what Bitcoin was meant to be. So let's change the block size from 1 megabyte to, 10 megabytes, right? That way we can have more people be included in the bus, because the bus, you're just literally increasing the bus size. You're like, now we can fit more people in. So now it becomes cheaper to get on. And the problem that those guys encountered from the other half of the Bitcoin community is you can't download, the way that Bitcoin works is this is public ledger, right? So in order for you to download this public ledger, it has to be small enough to download. But if the blocks get too big and there's too many transactions, the history of the whole blockchain becomes so large, you literally need to become a corporation just to be able to handle the size, to download it, to verify it for yourself. Does that make sense? Mm. So it becomes impossible for the individual who lives in a basement or wherever to participate in the network. So that got a lot of pushback. So Bitcoin Cash split off, and their solution was to scale on the blockchain. Their argument against it was, we have Moore's law, right? So every, how many years? 2 years? The technology capacity doubles. Mm-hmm. Computers get better every, I think it was 2 years, maybe I'm wrong. And so they're saying, if we look back, SD cards that were 5 megabyte were $300 10 years ago. But now that we have more space, it's cheaper, eventually we'll catch up and it's not a huge deal. So they split up, and that's what happened. The main Bitcoin that we see now, that's $50,000 roughly, is going to eventually scale what's called off-chain. So not on-chain, but off-chain. With systems called Lightning or Liquid. There's different protocols of doing it. And we can go into that if you want too.
This is complicated.
But it gets insanely into the weeds.
I do just want to note one thing really quickly. Yeah. One of the reasons why a lot of businesses do want to accept Bitcoin is because sometimes it's difficult to be accepted by payment processors. Mm-hmm. And that's why they use it on the dark web and stuff like that, is because you can't get approved by Stripe or by those types of guys. So you just send a Bitcoin wallet.
That makes sense.
So if you saw today, Apple started integrating it with BitPay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with BitPay. BitPay uses, I believe, the MasterCard network. So BitPay was a company that's kind of like the middleman. They have their own debit card. So you get a debit card, you can load your Bitcoin onto that, and then anywhere that accepts BitPay, you can pay using your Bitcoin. But
is that instantaneous?
It's instantaneous.
Okay.
Because they're kind of the middlemen that facilitate the whole transaction. So they take on the risk and they convert everything on the fly. So they provide the liquidity. But the problem is very few stores actually accept BitPay. It's what the hell is BitPay?
Right.
Nobody's heard of that. So Apple finally teamed up with BitPay, or I don't know to what degree they teamed up, but now you can put your BitPay debit cards onto Apple Pay, which means that you can now actually spend your Bitcoin anywhere Apple Pay is accepted.
I just feel like that would create a tax nightmare to go and buy, let's say, a car with Bitcoin, and then you have to figure out what's going to be the capital gains on that. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have to pay taxes on an asset that you were holding.
Yeah, that used to be a huge problem a couple of years ago. It's not anymore. There's automated tax websites where you can just give what's custodial permission to look at your balances, your buys and your sells, and then calculate all of that stuff for you. And you just get a printout and you can give it to your tax person.
Wouldn't that be complicated? Let's say I'm dollar cost averaging every week over years.
Right.
Wouldn't that just be a lot of calculating to do on that for your taxes?
If you do it manually, maybe, but why would you do it manually? You could just go to those websites and just plug it in.
Do
everything for you. It's automatic. Yeah, it's amazing. I use it. Yeah. So I'm going to use it this year. Maybe I'll make a video about it at some point, but it in theory, it's really easy. I gave it permission, and now it tracks all of my buys, all of my sales. So it gives me the net, whatever it is, my net profit, and then I give it to my tax person, and they calculate it.
How'd you get into crypto?
Oh, I bought a drone. I bought a drone for I actually found Bitcoin in 2012. I was like, dude, this stuff is so cool. It's $100, but it's going to multiply to 200.
What made you think it was going to multiply to 200?
Because I read about it. There's like people that are like becoming millionaires because they put in some stupid amount of money. And I was like, I want to do that.
But that's the same thing with the stock market.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was
Why
just
not
like the
stocks?
new
Yeah.
hot kid on the block. It was
Okay.
like, what is Bitcoin?
Sure.
Were you talking about it with your friends and stuff like that? Or was it just
but
self-discovery?
I was, but at the time you couldn't buy it from like the traditional places that you could today. And you couldn't hold it anywhere. You couldn't store it anywhere. So I was like the technology was so far behind that I was like, I don't get this stuff. So I ignored it until 2014 when Coinbase became a thing. I bought it there, held on to it for like a year. And I was like, man, it's not multiplying. So I bought in at $600 a coin, spent like a couple grand.
Yeah.
And then I sold it I bought a drone. I was like, I want to buy a drone. The DJI like Phantom 3 it was at the time.
Good drone.
I was like, dude, this is such a sick drone. I was like, I don't want to spend money. I was like, oh, I had that one Bitcoin thing. It's like collecting dust. My $3,000 investment was $1,500. And I was like, you know what? I just want to get rid of it. So I got rid of it. I bought the drone for $1,500, 6 Bitcoin that I spent basically. And yeah, those 6 Bitcoin today would be worth 300 grand on a drone that cost $1,000 at the time.
Let me guess. As soon as you bought the drone, Bitcoin just turned around.
That was the Jikh symptom.
Yeah. Oh, we have
So
to
bad.
explain this. So the Jikh symptom is every time Jikh buys a stock, it goes down immediately afterwards. And so Jikh and I are sitting next to each other, and Jikh looks over at my computer. He's like, oh, Graham, you're buying a stock? And I'm like, yeah, and I turn my computer away because I know it's going to go down as soon as he buys it. He's like, well, I'm going to buy it too. And I'm like, no, don't buy in because as soon as you do, it's going to go down in price. And he's like, no, I'm going to buy in. And we're literally looking at the chart and it starts ticking down as soon as
It's like as I'm like hovering over the buy button, the stock
it starts
starts
going
going
down.
I imagine there's like somebody behind the scenes who's looking and they're like, all right, Jack's buying. All right, like make it
He's
go
getting
down.
close.
Go
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Oh, all right, he's
But-
sold. He's sold.
But
It's
you know
safe
what's
to go
funny?
back up.
You know what's funny is that he's like, all right, I'm not going to buy it. And he takes his phone and puts it down. And you see it start going back up immediately
telling you,
afterwards.
man.
And then I buy. And it keeps going up.
And then you were trying to actually hide from me the
Yeah.
fact that you bought. I'm not kidding. I was like, did you just buy? Because I was sitting next to him and I saw him like in this brokerage or whatever. I was like, did you just buy? He's like, no, I didn't buy. And I like look over and I see that he bought. So you just lied to me. And then I buy it and it goes down and I lost a lot of money. And now I've realized a loss of like $800.
it was the moment he bought, it started going down. Like the second. Like that's not coincidence.
So just do the opposite of what Jikh does always, and
Yes.
you'll basically do really well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's why now if I buy something, I just don't tell Jikh.
Yeah, don't ever tell Jikh.
Yeah, no, I just don't
Anybody,
do it, yeah.
nobody, don't communicate with Jikh about investing ever.
I've been having a lot of fun though watching the price of Bitcoin.
It's crazy. How much has your initial investment appreciated? Now?
So I originally got in, I think it was like because I dollar cost average. I think total I invested like 115. And I think now it's like 160 something.
Wow,
And that's in like a month and a half.
that's crazy.
And I bought in, I think somewhat high. Like I was buying in at basically the peak of a month and a half
remember,
ago.
yeah,
And that was in the low 30s.
30s, yeah.
And then Ethereum was $1,100, like 1150. And I remember too, it goes to show you, like sometimes little details don't matter, but I had like, I think it was like 10 grand I wanted to put in Ethereum. And so I put my limited order in at like 1185 or something like that. It was trading at like 12.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes and it doesn't hit. It goes like, it's just like a few dollars away. And I'm sitting there like wasting all this time, just like, it's not going to hit. It doesn't hit. I'm like, screw it. Should I leave it? No, you know what? I'm just going to buy it at the price. So I paid the
Market
price, like
price, yeah.
$1,200.
That's what happened to me with Apple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a video, like my dividend video, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna set a limit order for Apple. I put in like $10,000 at just $1 below, like actually at the market price that day. The next day, I'm like, yeah, it'll trigger. It never did.
Yeah, I know.
Apple
How
just
long ago was
ran
that?
away. Like 2 weeks ago. Oh. Yeah, I feel so frustrated about that. But the Bitcoin thing, it's crazy because that drone, that like what happened then is what taught me to like look closer. Because whenever we talk about Bitcoin, everyone's like, they like roll their eyes, like, oh yeah, tell me more about how your friend made millions of dollars off Bitcoin. We don't care, But it's like, once this stuff happens, you start to like look into it deeper. You're like, what is it really like? Why does it have value? Like, I don't get it. Like, what is it? And that scenario with the drone really what like triggered me to learn about the monetary system and like how deep the rabbit hole goes. And once you get like what it is, then you're like, I'm never gonna like sell this.
Wow.
It just becomes,
that's a convincing argument.
It becomes so different once you look beyond the price action, which I think is what you had a lot of trouble with in the beginning, because you kind of dismissed it as like this like just price, like I don't say like Ponzi, but like, okay, cool, it's a Beanie Baby. Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna make millions, but it's gonna crash. It's stupid. Because I like that. We all think that, like, because you look at the price action and it doesn't make any sense. But if you take the time to learn why it has value, then it just changes the game.
Hey, Graham, I don't mean to change the subject, but have you heard of privacy.com?
Of course, man. How could I not?
Well, right, but I'm worried that some of our viewers haven't heard about this.
Well, we gotta fix this right now. Give it to him, Jack.
How about this, you guys? I'll make a bet with you. If you aren't already using this product, I bet you've never heard of it, because there is literally no reason why you shouldn't be using privacy.com. Like everyone, I need to pay for things, and I'm uncomfortable with the idea that so many people have access to my credit card information. Luckily, privacy.com solves this problem so that I will never have to deal with this again. Let me break this down for you. It works like this. Instead of handing out my credit card to everyone, I can link my credit card to one of Privacy's virtual cards. I can then pay for things using their card instead of my own. That's not even the best part. These privacy cards have massive perks, such as being able to pause the card instantly, set transaction limits, and cancel with the click of a button. This protects you from ever having to worry about your card ending up in the wrong hands. Plus, if you go with the Privacy Pro plan, you actually get 1% cash back. This is outside of any rewards you will receive from your real card. People are actually making money with this plan. The cash back is super nice. I trust Privacy so much that the card in the graphic you just saw moments ago is actually one of my Privacy credit cards directly tied to my real primary credit card. It also has $10 of single-use credit on it. First come, first serve. Feel free to get yourself a coffee on me. Do yourself a favor and sign up for privacy.com. There are literally so many perks, I cannot cover them all. On top of everything, you will receive a $5 credit by clicking the link below or heading to privacy.com/ICH. Trust me, you do not want to miss out. This is privacy.com/ICH. Thank you so much, Privacy, for sponsoring this episode, and back to the podcast.
So you're still buying in today?
I haven't bought in today, but I will. I'll average in when I feel like it's time to.
When would you say it's time to?
When it's time. When it hits a certain price. I'm still like doing research to figure out what it is. I don't think it's gonna hit 30,000 again anytime soon. It will probably eventually, but I need to get rid of my initial principal value, because that's what I always tell people. I'm like, whenever you invest and like quadruples in price, which for me it's like 6x'd by now from 100 grand. But I've been buying since 2014, is like, you need to just sell what you invested, right? Because the rest is play money. So if you lose it, who cares? But now it's like, I'm just terrified that a catalyst is around the corner. We're going to get like a Bitcoin ETF. And I'm just or I'm like, maybe I can sell Bitcoin, or like now that Elon's going to.
Why would you sell it?
Why would I sell
You don't
it?
need the money right now.
No, you don't need it. That's true.
That's the thing. Unless you need the money, don't sell.
For sure. I'm just saying, like, for the principal value of it, like the principal equity,
don't need
just to sell it and be like, cool, I made my money back.
No, you're going to have the principal value anyway. Unless it crashes 90%, you're still going to have it no matter what. So there's no point in selling.
That's what I was thinking about. But I'm like, I really want to buy a Tesla. And I put it on my Instagram. I was like, if Elon ever starts accepting Bitcoin, I'm totally going to buy a Tesla.
Would you actually?
No, I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not about to give up an appreciating asset for a depreciating one. Like, that doesn't make sense.
With that.
I don't understand why a lot of like businesses are accepting Bitcoin as payment when it's so volatile.
Hype.
It's not because of hype. It's because everybody, it's that hedge fund money problem, where it's like, imagine being the hedge fund that's like, you're making money for your customers, and they're like, hey, this year you made 10% for us. How come like Kathy Wood made 300%? What are you going to say? Like, you're a hedge fund manager. You're like, because I don't have Bitcoin in my portfolio. They have to have a solution for Bitcoin. Like, what is our Bitcoin strategy is like a phrase that's like, you need an answer to it. And so it's like, it forces everybody to enter, not even for the hype of it, but when your customer asks you what's our game plan, you got to be able to say, well, we got 1% exposure or whatever. Like, we accept it if you want it. You need to have these bridges built. If you don't, customers leave and go somewhere else where they are.
But do they just sell the Bitcoin as soon as they receive it as payment?
No, some do, some don't.
I don't know. I feel like it's so inefficient to charge for Bitcoin. Like if I'm a grocery store, I'm saying I accept Bitcoin just because I know that maybe one customer out of 1,000 might actually pay with Bitcoin, but it gets more attention. Like, ooh, look at the grocery store that accepted Bitcoin.
Yeah, see, right now it cannot exist as a currency because of the volatility, right? But that's the function of good money. Right now, good money, which is Bitcoin, is sucking up like the vacuum, the Dyson sphere. Stupid reference if you watch the Logan Paul thing. But anyway, it's sucking up all the bad money, all the fiat money that's in the world. It's like a vacuum and it's sucking everything up, which is why it's so volatile. So you don't want to use good money to pay for things right now. You want to use the bad money and you want to save and hoard the good money, which is why most of the people who have held Bitcoin have held it on for like years and they haven't moved it. Does that make sense?
That's what I think is going to happen at some point. It's going to be such a collector sort of deal where just people are not going to want to let go of them.
No, what's going to happen is this. What's going to happen is after all this bad money, like all this good money is sucked up by Bitcoin, as the market cap increases, the price of Bitcoin will stabilize.
Yes.
So these 90, 50% fluctuations are not going to be a thing. Like a 3%, 5% fluctuation is going to be like, oh my God, Bitcoin crash, you know, like the S&P 500. If there's like a 3% drop in the S&P, people are like, oh, recession, you know, that's how it works. But once it stabilizes, then we'll start to use it eventually.
It was more stable than the stock market through like April, May, and June.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was super stable.
Is it like $9,100, maybe plus or minus $100
for a while,
for months.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with the Bitcoin, like main BTC, the ticker symbol that is at $50,000, that Bitcoin, not like Bitcoin Cash, that one is going to start scaling with something called the Lightning Network, which like in a nutshell, I'll try to explain it like super simply, but it's basically like, think of like if gold is Bitcoin, remember back in like history, we would transact with gold, but gold is heavy, it like sucked, right? Like nobody wanted to use it because it's hard to divide, people would steal it. So think of Bitcoin as gold. It's like the base layer one. It's impractical, it's heavy, it's expensive. So we created, in this analogy, a layer two. And layer two was fiat money, right? So we attached a piece of paper and denominated it in gold. That was base layer. So you with me so far? 2 layers. So that's what we used. And so these pieces of paper were way more efficient. So you and I can transact with these pieces of paper infinitely. And then when we were ready, we could settle on layer one. So we would be like, all right, cool. The net transaction effect of all the things we did, it equals this. Let's go get our gold. And then we would divide accordingly. That's what's going to happen with Bitcoin. So we'll have Lightning Network basically, where you and I can transact on this second layer infinitely, instantaneously, cheaply. And when we're ready, that transaction, the net result of all the transactions are going to get settled, and then they get sent to layer one on the blockchain. And that's when we resolve the transactions. Does that make sense?
I've heard that was going to happen for years.
That's gonna, yeah,
Right?
it's been in the works for a long time because it's a very complicated system to build. But that's one of the solutions.
Who's building it?
It's the core team from Bitcoin Core. Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of sounds like Robinhood trading Bitcoin in a
It's
sense.
exactly what it is. Yeah. It's derivatives. That's right. Which is one of the criticisms that the Bitcoin Cash team had. Their criticism was you're literally recreating the current financial system, because who's to say that we can't just print infinite amount of currency on the Lightning Network?
Right.
You have literally
That's true. Yeah.
gotten rid of all the fundamentals of Bitcoin because you're no longer using that tech. You are using another layer that is not even connected to Bitcoin. Just like we did with cash, because we got rid of base layer one. We got rid of gold. And now it's a free-for-all. We're printing infinitely. Who cares? That's what people are afraid is going to happen to Bitcoin eventually.
That's a great point.
Yeah, we'll go to layer two. Cool. But then who owns that? Who controls that? Who prints that? Like that's...
Are you worried about the government stepping in at some point?
Not at all.
Why?
Because they can't do anything about it. What are they going to do?
Ban it.
To what extent?
Say that you can't... It's illegal. They pull like a China. And they say, you know what? You're not allowed to do this. We're going to block websites that promote the buying or selling or trading of these currencies. It's going to be fraud. impersonating the dollar,
Right.
and they're going to criminally charge people
Right.
for like distributing a certain amount.
Right. I think if they did that, there'd be like chaos in the streets personally, but let's just say they got away with it and somehow banned it. The price would definitely drop substantially. But the truth is, where the US cripples it, Switzerland or any other country that wants the US's business would double down and be like, well, these guys are idiots. If they're going to get rid of like Bitcoin and all that business, come on in, welcome. So like the way the world works is like countries don't just all unanimously agree to ban something. Countries compete against each other. So they'll never unanimously say, let's get rid of Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Like easy example, Russia and the US, they hate each other. Where the US wants to cripple something, Russia will say, great, come on in, we'll accept you. But I don't think the US will ever ban Bitcoin because of the opportunities that they'd lose. I think our government is not very smart, but they're smart enough to know not to get rid of opportunities like that.
So do you think they would just create their own stable coin?
So that's what like people say is like, are you afraid that banks will create their own? And it's hilarious because I remember we talked to Vlad Tenev, the Robinhood CEO, and we're like, well, do you think that crypto is the solution to Robinhood? Like we need a decentralized brokerage. And Vlad was like, no, we don't need it. And I was talking to him too. I was like, we really don't. That's not the solution. Like I'm the biggest crypto bull ever, but I don't even think that's the solution. The technology is not the problem. Because what crypto solves, honestly, is security and sovereignty. That's what it solves. And that's not the solution that necessarily we need in this case with brokerages or with like, I don't know, banks creating their own. Because the way that blockchain works is it's very inefficient. We are doing like, it's like what do you call those Rubik gold machines?
Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg machines, there we go.
Yeah.
It's like a Rube Goldberg machine to accomplish something you can do instantaneously if you just had a database, a personal privatized database, which is what banks are. So it doesn't make any sense for banks to do blockchain. They're trying to for the hype of it, but they understand that it's meaningless because the whole point of blockchain is to decentralize it. So to have a private entity decentralize something that is centralized makes zero sense because they have a Rube Goldberg just to do it. It's like, hey, we're going to do something inefficient to do what we already do, but worse, for literally no benefit to anybody.
Got it.
So they will not create it in any like realistic capacity. But what we will see that's crazy cool if we do was like Libra from Facebook. People were like, oh, I don't want my own Facebook money. I don't want that. We do want that, actually. We would love that. You know why? Because if Facebook creates Libra, then Tesla creates its own thing, then Apple creates its own thing. And for the first time in human history, we can have a currency that's competing on a capital market. Like, for the first time, money can compete. And it's never been able to compete. Our governments have said, this is the money you're going to use. It's called fiat, which means to rule by decree. So it's like, for the first time, we have the chance, like any product, computers compete, cars compete, and we get the best products in the world because companies can compete against each other and give us the best result.
But what would
Imagine if money competed against each other.
Yeah, but what would be the advantage? That seems horribly inefficient. It would be like having so many different currencies, like 10 different currencies in my wallet, and be like, all right, I got to pay with the peso and
but that's
this.
not
inflation
the end result that I'm talking about isn't that I want like Tesla coin and Apple coin. That like you're right, that would suck. That's not the point. The point is that once there's a lot of these currencies out there in the market, because they're digital, they act as bridges between the crypto world and our world right now. That's all they are. They're like temp bridges. So if we make it easy for people to on and off ramp from our fiat system to the digital currency system, that's what makes crypto that much easier and more accessible.
Seems like it would be more of a hassle though to get like Libra that I could spend on Facebook or Tesla coin that I spend at Tesla. That just seems like a bigger obligation. I'd rather just stick with the dollar.
Sure, and you can, but there's lots of countries in this world that are run by corrupt governments who print money away and now they can't save money. We could say that because we live in a first world country where we can have a savings, but these other countries, they can never be, I guess, brought up to the first world because they're not competing on first world terms. They're competing in their own corrupt government. So if I'm in Venezuela and I'm trying to save money, well, tomorrow my government printed so much money that literally everything I saved is worth half now. So I'll never be a first world country because I'm beholden to that. So these benefits aren't necessarily to us, the first world. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Then why wouldn't you just go to Bitcoin and create the Lightning Network or something equivalent to paper money over top of it?
Yeah, it gets so complicated that like we're all just trying to see like what works from, like let's make it more efficient, create another layer, let's create the different coins. But the point is that we're entering this phase where like we're on the precipice of democratizing money with tech, which has like never happened before. Everything we've created, from this lamp to these cameras, this couch, it's like companies compete with each other to give us the best product. If we gave that opportunity for money to happen, what would we get? And so far, we think it's going to be Bitcoin. That's going to be like, the thing.
So how high can it go? How much money am I going to make?
The only reason I'm watching this is how high will it go?
People just want to know, what price can they sell at?
Yeah. There's this famous, like hilarious, funny quote from The Matrix. Have you seen it?
I've seen The Matrix. I don't know.
You've seen The Matrix, but you remember Morpheus?
I remember. What's the quote? Yeah.
Okay, so Morpheus is like, or Neo's like, wait, what are you saying? If I'm the one, I can dodge bullets? And then Morpheus is like, no, Neo. What I'm saying is, when you're ready, you won't have to. And it's like this hilarious meme in Bitcoin. And the whole point is like, oh, I could sell and become a millionaire and buy my Lambos? Like, no, dude. When Bitcoin is ready, you won't have to sell it. That's the whole point.
Huh.
You don't have to sell it. You use it.
Jeez.
That's why you're buying it. You're not there to use it yet. It's accumulating, it's building, it's creating. And while we're doing that, yes, the price is going up and some people don't get it and they're like selling it, trying to become rich with it. But the point is not to sell it for the dollar. The point is to get it to a point where we're using it behind the scenes and it like...
So why aren't you investing more?
I want to.
What's holding you back?
Things that I bought.
Taxes.
Taxes. Yeah, that too. Actually, remember last time I was on, I had like...
Yeah, you said you were nervous you could be not a millionaire due to taxes.
Yeah.
I remember that. You had $1 million in cash.
I did.
I was hounding you to invest it back then.
Yeah, and I was giving you crap because you had more cash than me.
Yes, but it's a smaller ratio.
It doesn't matter to me.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a smaller, it matters. Let's say $1 million is 2% for one person, $1 million is 90% for another person.
Sure.
The 2% I wouldn't see as a big deal when you look at the ratios of it.
No, you look at the what do you call it? The cost, opportunity cost of that money. So yeah, you could do averages or like compare ratios, but the opportunity cost can also be like put into question. So your 2 or 3 million or however much you had in cash is costing you XYZ in opportunity money that's far more than mine. So you could look at it that way.
But it's a smaller part of my portfolio.
No,
Sure
but I think I think you guys are both right.
Yeah, we're both right. No, I know.
You're right. It's a spectrum of being right. I'm more
some
on
infinities are bigger than others.
It's too much money to have in cash. I think we agree with that.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying with that is, so I'm gonna pay my tax. I haven't yet, but I will. So that's gonna take up a huge chunk of that. So after that podcast, I think like the highest I had in my bank was like 1.7 or 1.6 in cash, and so I'm gonna pay half of that towards taxes.
Yeah.
And the other half, you'll find out soon. I hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
That's cool. So then after that thing that you did, are you going to be putting more money into Bitcoin?
I want to, yeah. Depends on like what it's doing, right? Like if it's 100
What if it's
grand
just shooting up?
I won't have FOMO. Like I have so much money in it that at this point, if it goes to 100 grand, I'm going to be like, whatever, a multi-millionaire or something. Like I don't have FOMO in that regard. I bought Ethereum at $200 a piece.
Wow.
This is crazy.
I have so much fun buying it though, but because it's trading all the time, like today the markets were closed, I was like, ooh, I could just go and buy some Bitcoin.
Right.
I saw it. It's like it. I don't know. I didn't buy it today. I'm going to hold off because I don't want to get carried away. When I get into something, I start investing too much into it.
Exactly. That's my fear
I don't want to get carried away.
That's my fear too.
Above my 1% that I said.
So for me, it's like, that's one of my fears too, is like my Bitcoin portfolio is over 50% of my investments. Like I'm a value guy. Like I love dividends and passive income, and Kevin O'Leary is like, we're basically the same person.
Yeah.
Except I've got more hair. And no, we're not. But he loves like cash flowing companies and like that. I love that too. But my portfolio like dividend stocks is like 300 grand and my Bitcoin's like 700.
Why
It's
don't
like,
you up
dude.
the dividend portfolio? Why don't you get that to 5?
I'd like
Yeah.
to. I'd like to get it to $1 million.
Okay.
And that way I want to be able to make 40K off my dividends. That's it. Like that would
Why
be so
40K?
great. It's like if everything collapses and fails and I've like YouTube just deletes me, cancels me, like I could still live off of $40,000 a year. And that's such a comfortable salary, provided how I live.
Yeah.
Like I'm really frugal. So if everything goes away, I could still live off the interest of that. Plus with Bitcoin's interest.
But I feel like you're doing that already
I'm
between
already doing
Bitcoin
that,
and
yeah.
the dividend portfolio.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I still just like to up that a little bit. Like
Yeah.
my ultimate goal, I think, would get to at least 6 figures, so 100 grand passive income. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel nervous, or do you feel like you're at the point where you can kind of chill a little bit? Like you've
For
made it.
sure, dude. Yeah.
You feel like you've
Huge.
made it.
It's so crazy. Like before I started YouTube, you ever like wake up one day and you have like this anxiety and you're like having a heart attack? Just me? All right.
Well, regarding what? Which
No,
heart
just
attack? What
in
kind of
general.
heart
Have you
attack?
ever woken up and you just like have your heart beating and you're like, oh, I'm like nervous about this, but you don't have anything to be nervous about, but you just are.
Sometimes. Usually that's for me when I don't have a video planned out.
Well,
I'm
there we
just
go.
like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is for me.
But like times 10
Yeah.
with no reason. Like I had that before
No,
YouTube.
yeah.
And now that like I think I've made enough money to even now if like I disappear, which I don't want to, but for whatever reason that happens, I'll be okay. And that makes me not so nervous
So was
anymore.
that a financial concern?
It was a financial
Okay.
concern for a long time. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that, Graham?
Yeah, you know what? It was odd, but like I used to be so nervous about being homeless. I don't know why or
Homeless.
where that came from.
So you like overcompensated by buying like half a dozen homes.
So I bought every house imaginable. No, I don't know why. I've just been like, I just didn't want to be homeless. It's
Couldn't
weird.
you just like
And it-
live with your parents at that point? or something?
yeah, which it didn't make any sense. Like I'd always have like some sort of family member, I'm sure that would want to take
Why
me
do
in
you
for a
think
little
that
bit.
is? Is it like abandonment issues? Or
I don't-
what, why?
I don't think so.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
I would like that. I don't know. I think it's just the comfort of knowing that I'm always going to have a roof over my head.
I feel like this is transitioning into part 2 of our insecurities.
Yeah, that was a fan favorite.
always
afraid of being homeless. Jack's like, well, I'm just being hairy. I'm afraid.
The asymmetrical fans. We got quite a range here.
Yeah.
Body hair to homelessness. What was yours again?
Got none, bro.
I forgot what yours was.
This is it's the same as mine.
Yeah, it was probably similar to that. No, was it?
No, I don't feel
Did
it.
you say body
I don't
hair?
even remember. I disclosed it.
You did.
I did.
But I forget what it is.
Actually, I think I do know what it is. My fear for a long time was not having better Pokemon cards than Graham. But what's crazy is...
No, did you bring it?
So last time we did this, you had a psychic energy here.
Yeah.
That you gave me.
Right.
And I was kind of upset because that was not what I really wanted. I mean, it's a cool card.
Yeah.
It's dope. I like it. But I got... This is from Graham's pack that he
Right.
got from Logan Paul.
Right.
Which you spent, what, 12,000? 11,000?
11,000.
But then
Oh, this is it.
I got this card, which is the second card that Graham got from his pack.
Wow.
That's the Nidorino.
Can I see it? Are you gonna do a trick?
Are you gonna give it back?
You're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna give it back. I feel like you're gonna do a trick with it because I want the Magikarp.
Yeah, and then you got the
jeez.
Gyarados, which was the shiny one.
I know.
Which what's this
That's
one?
the Magikarp. Can I see it?
That's the Magikarp from the pack.
That's the one I want.
Hunter's
gonna
actually
like-
like an evil genius right now.
Yeah. So like my going into the pack, I'm like, I'm gonna keep the holo card and then donate the rest of it to charity. So I put it up on eBay, and a bidder spent like I think it was like $4,500 on the rest of the cards.
That's a lot.
Yeah, donated all of that money back to Nami. But the one card I wanted to keep for myself was the Magikarp, because the Magikarp evolves into a Gyarados, and they both came in the same pack. And I was like, well, I don't know. Oh, man. See, I just don't know if this would have gotten a PSA 10.
Bro, that looks like an 11 to me.
That's so good. It really is perfect.
It's so perfect.
Oh, man. So PSA 10s on these cards.
I think a
it's
grand
sold-
at this point, right?
No. It's sold for like $400 or $500.
That's still a lot.
I was bidding on one of these on eBay on a PSA 10, and someone bid like $1 more. They sniped
way.
it. Yeah, they sniped it from me. But oh man, that does look perfect. The bottom's a little bit. No, it's pretty perfect.
It's pretty perfect. What's crazy is it's kind of symbolic to me. So the reason it's symbolic is because Graham got the Gyarados because he's like a really big YouTuber. But I got the Magikarp because I'm the underdog and I'm the littler guy. So you're the Gyarados, I'm the Magikarp.
You just got the tackle.
Yeah, and
10
the splash.
damage.
I'm kind of useless, but I try.
Oh, man.
One of these days I'll evolve into a Gyarados of my very own and get myself a Jack.
We also have another announcement before we go back to the Pokemon thing. We're hiring. We're hiring, guys. So if you want a job, come working for us. You could be behind the scenes, making sure the cameras are all working okay and the audio's good. We want someone to come and join the team, but we had a bit of a controversy.
Oh,
you don't know about this.
I got to hear this. What is the controversy?
So Jack and I this morning figured, okay, we're going to put together a video. So we want...
Stop. Where's my Magikarp?
What are you talking about?
Where'd you take my Magikarp?
I didn't.
I see these
You're
two.
messing with me.
Bro.
Bailey was
I
jumping
think
up
I
here.
saw Bailey have it in her mouth as she.
There's no way. No.
Yeah.
No way.
There's no way, dude.
I mean,
Are you
it
messing
looks
with
like
me?
it, but it could.
I feel like this is like a magic trick.
I don't know. I swear to God. I don't have it.
What?
Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that she did not take it. Because
It's
I'm going to be very sad.
I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, it's in your pocket.
No,
and
I
I'm going to be like, what? That's
I
crazy.
swear to God, it's not that.
We'll find it afterwards.
All right. Anyway,
Find it. Yeah.
the controversy.
Yeah, the controversy.
We're about to have another one.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Nah. So the controversy. This morning we figured, what's a good idea? What's a good way to hire somebody? Well, we think they should upload a video to YouTube with the title Grahamstephan Interview.
Okay.
With reasons why they should work with us.
Right.
And then we could pick the one who's the most memorable and we feel like would be a good fit to join the team. So Jack and I this morning just riff off on the camera.
We winged it.
Yeah. And Jack was like, he's putting out like, an outline. I'm like, no, man, let's just wing it. Let's just get in front of the camera, have fun, 5 minutes and upload the video. So Jack wanted to make it very clear in the video that he wants someone who's willing to do a job like doing Jack's laundry.
No, but let me explain. So I'm not saying that like someone to do the laundry, but I'm saying the kind of person that would be okay to do stuff like that.
Right.
Because the sole purpose of this job is to give Graham and I more time to be able to focus on, the Grahamstephan show, Grahamstephan, and the podcast.
You sure you don't need a girlfriend instead of just an assistant?
I would love a girlfriend. no.
That's been unsuccessful so far. So the next step
Yeah,
I
is
just want somebody to
second
hug me
best thing.
sometimes, you
Yeah,
know?
so
they need to be able to kiss me sometimes and just show me affection.
just tell me it's going to be okay.
It's going to be all right.
So so yeah, we said like the laundry thing, right? And I don't mean someone that's actually going to do my laundry explicitly, like that's their job. But I'm just saying someone that will be here 40 hours a week or whatever and just assisting us with things.
Right.
And I would love someone that would be willing to go so far out of their way, that would be willing to do the most that they could possibly do to help us. And
Yeah. Here's the thing for me. It's like my experience has been when I first started working as a real estate agent, I worked with this guy for free and I was doing everything, whatever he wanted me to do. I would go down and he'd be like, I left my checkbook in the car and it's like 5 stories underground. Can you walk across the street, go to my car, bring me the checkbook at like
pay your dues.
at 9 p.m. at night. I would do it. I never asked for any money doing anything. If he was like, Graham, could you go to this property and photograph it for me and then Photoshop the pictures and then go and email, I would do it. Yeah, that camera clicked off. We could just use these two for right now, and then we'll go back to the wide. I would do it no matter what it was, and I did that for years. Now, I started making money doing my own leases, but whatever he would need, I would do. Even if he needed me to go and like grab food for him
Was
down
that
the street.
valuable for you?
What do you mean was that valuable for me?
Was it a valuable experience?
Yes, absolutely. Because in return for doing that, I got to be around someone who I learned from all the time. I think that for the first few years of me doing that, it was worth it. I would say after about 3-4 years, I started to outgrow that. I don't know why you're smiling at me.
Yeah,
Because all of this is
Yeah.
leading to you need to be able to be okay with doing the laundry.
No,
no, it's not
no.
that was the
Hear
thing
me
that
out, yeah.
started the controversy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I gotcha.
Just hear me out. When Jack started,
Right.
I wanted someone to go through my Facebook, emails.
Sure.
And we had the Millionaire Real Estate Mastermind, which to get into the group, you have to put in your email address. And then I wanted someone to go in manually and just copy, and admit the people into the Facebook group. I tried paying people to do this because it was such a just horrible task. And it's boring.
Right.
And I was paying people like $15 an hour. Can you go and do this? Everyone's like, yeah, man, I'll get around to it. Would never get around to it. Paying them. Jikh sent me 7 emails in a row, just being like, dude, whatever you need, I'm willing to help you. I just want to learn. And it just so happened I saw Jikh's email at a time where I was inundated with the Facebook stuff. And I said, hey, man, if you really want to learn, if you do this, that'll help me out a ton. If you just want to help me out. He did it in like overnight. Like the next day it was done. Didn't ask for any money or anything like that. And so to thank Jikh, I'm like, how about I'll take you out for dinner? And we just met for dinner. And that was it. And then Jikh was telling me over dinner, like, if there's anything else you need, whatever it is, I just want to learn. And so he did. And he would help me out with we did the phone calls on the Grahamstephan show. We just started up the channel. And in the beginning, didn't get paid at all.
Did you do your laundry?
I didn't do the laundry, but I literally would have done anything. I would have gone and fetched food for Ramsey, cleaned up Ramsey's fecal matter, in the house. I would have been so happy.
Would you have eaten an uni?
That's borderline. Eating a sea cucumber? No. But I literally would have done anything. And that was the whole purpose of like the whole laundry statement, is that we want someone that would be willing to...
Why do you say it's a controversy? Did you get pushback?
No, well, we're getting there. Okay, so here's the deal. I come from somebody who, like, I would have done anything for free. Jikh worked for free, and now you get all self-conscious. We talk about how much Jikh is making 6 figures now.
The point is, I worked for nothing, and now I'm doing well. And the same for Graham. He worked for nothing, and now he's doing well.
Yeah.
And even we expect
the same.
Yeah.
Even on YouTube, man. Honestly, like I worked for free on like that first year. I was losing money making YouTube videos. I just enjoyed it.
Sure.
We want the same type of person who has that same type of enthusiasm. That's like, I'm willing to do anything. I will clean up Bailey's poop. I will do Jikh's laundry. If Graham,
is that something you ask for, or is that something you just spot in people? You know what I mean? Like, do you ask for that, or you notice that? You know what I mean?
Maybe that's where we messed up. So here's the controversy. We mentioned in the video, tongue in cheek, sort of like Jikh's laundry, and I'm like, oh yeah, Jikh's laundry is bad. You don't want to do Jikh's laundry.
As a joke,
yeah.
right?
And we kind of leaned into that, and we were just like, and it might include like driving us around and like just doing like anything, including maybe editing for the podcast,
shopping for lots of bleach.
Yeah, exactly.
But people in the comments went off on like, you're giving $40,000 for somebody to do all these jobs and like be your assistant and do your laundry and be able to edit. That's the jobs, like that's 2 people's jobs. You're asking for 1. That's a million. A millionaire start doing that. Yeah. And I'm like, people send emails every day willing to do work for free.
Right.
And we want to pay somebody to do these things and grow with us over time. It's like when I first started, I was doing the jobs like 3 or 4 people. It's like it's whatever you need to do, you got to get done. So we were looking for the same qualities, but I think we missed the mark on that by outlining something that maybe should have been implied.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's not something you ask for. That's something you notice. But
But we drastically need it right now. That's the issue.
Jikh needs his laundry. He is not the laundry.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. This is
Yeah.
No, I mean, like it's not something you can put in like a job description. It's just something you notice. You're like, oh, this person's really motivated, But
I think this is something that Graham and I both recognize. I'm sure you're very similar, but like, you can sign up for a job that does, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, but anything that you do more than that, it will come back and benefit you. And I knew that like, even if I was making no money doing the work for Graham, it's like, I know I'm confident in my ability to provide value. And when I'm in a position where I have a connection with Graham, I can think of ways to make Graham money. And if I can make myself a super valuable asset to something, in turn, I can receive some benefit. I'm sure you're the same way. It's like,
I make money from Jikh making money. Like Jikh will come up with ideas that will make him money, that make me more money, that pays for Jikh.
Sure.
And Jikh makes more money.
Sure.
So it's like, it's a win-win for everybody. And so I think some people just are too short-sighted. They're focusing on like the right now. Oh, cleaning Jikh. Like honestly, there are people out there that would do your laundry for free just to go and like just to go and like be introduced. Like that's what I don't get. Same thing. People get upset at me for posting on Instagram like, "Hey, I'm selling my iPhone, guys, $400 to buy my iPhone." People are like, "You're rich. You should just give it away. I can't believe you're selling that." But little do they know, whoever comes by, first of all, we get to hang out. They get a personal connection. And usually they get an Instagram shout out, which is probably worth like $5,000 that they're getting just to come and hang out. And usually, like the guy who picked up the desk,
we gave him free access to the mentorship group, which is $130.
Yeah.
We gave him free access to that, and we gave him an or do we do an Instagram shout out?
I think we did
something.
Yeah, we did. We did do
like
an Instagram,
way
and we
more
talked to him on
value.
like a weekly basis for him coming and picking up a $60 desk that people were upset at me at.
Right.
I can't believe you're selling a broken desk. I can't believe you're doing that. Donate it.
We sold it for $40.
There's no sympathy for
$40,
millionaires. It's just that's just how the society we live in.
But it's so sad that people don't see the benefit beyond that. And here's a perfect example: the couch. I sold the couch for $1,800, and the dude was telling us, it's like, yeah, no, I didn't really do the couch for $1,800. I just did it because I wanted to meet you and get that connection. And we still keep in touch. I mean,
That's
it's just
cool.
It's one of these. Andy gets a couch at the same cost
I
that I
don't
had
even
to
know
wait
if
like
that's
6 months
something
for.
you explain though. Like people that get it.
You're right.
It's not
But
something you explain.
It's frustrating to me that people go off on me on that, and they just don't get it. I want people to understand,
Right.
But maybe that's something that you can't.
That's the
understand to
difference
people.
between the 1% and the 99%.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think people were also upset
Right,
because
yeah.
they said we were asking for 2 jobs in one, with like the laundry stuff, like a maid and then also someone who'd be able to turn on the cameras, like a techie person. But all they would do is turn on the cameras and make sure that they don't die when we're recording a podcast. And I would teach them how to edit the podcast, which is
Right.
also like a marketable skill that I would gladly
yeah,
So
teach
what's the
them how to do.
starting salary for people watching?
40.
40K.
40,000.
Yeah.
Is that like a trial period or like?
That's just like the first
That's
year.
gonna
But
be
the
the
thing
base,
is, it's
yeah.
like they're not limited to that. If they
Sure.
come up with another thing that they can do, like what if I say like, hey, can I have you on a Saturday to do this? Or they say, hey, Jack, I have a great idea for the channel. What if you do this? What if they find me a sponsor?
What if they were like, yo, Graham, I've got a great idea. Would they have to split it with you or?
Split it with me if they
Yeah.
go straight to Graham?
Absolutely not. No, we don't. split that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great question. I guess Graham and I have to discuss that.
Yeah, depends what it would be.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, my goal would be that it starts at 40, but there's room to grow beyond that. Like I really want to, like I hate the idea of bringing on new people, and I want to get like one person and just keep them forever.
Sure.
And just continue growing with that person. Like with Jack, just keep that going as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
40K is a really good salary for like an assistant.
And no
Oh,
college
yeah.
degree.
Like, no education, no college degree. And I think we're just fun to hang out with. Like this isn't like
We're not biased.
I'm not biased at all. But no, it's like I mean, here I am saying it's like it's not difficult work. I just see it as being fun all the time. But they gotta like live and breathe.
I think it's
work.
only fun when you're in the driver's seat. I don't think it's.
No, I had so much fun as an agent.
No,
like
for
working
sure.
for just doing stuff for free for somebody else. I had so much fun doing that.
Yeah, because the premise is for you, though. The premise is ultimately for you to build an empire.
Yeah, but who's to say they can't build their own empire?
Well, it depends, right? Like, what's the job? With you as an agent, you could. But if you're an assistant, it's like a. I don't know if the trajectory is there unless they assert
That is
themselves.
true.
So I don't see it as like the
But look at
same
Jack.
fun.
I would look at Jack as the perfect example of Jack being able to use this to leverage into real estate.
I don't think this is the same example, though.
Why?
Because. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
If Jack just gets 10 years
Yeah.
at his current salary, well, not really a salary, it's his current income, he'd be set for life. All he has to do for 10 years is just not screw it up
More
and
like
invest it.
3 or 4 or
That's
5 years.
10.
True.
You think
10.
it's 10?
10 years. Yeah. 10
I
years
mean-
of just not screwing it up. Just if he saves everything, invest it all for 10 years. He's set for life, the rest of his life.
For you to be a YouTuber for 10 years is like a dinosaur. Like
That's
it is
true.
so hard to be an influencer for 10 years.
I would disagree. I would say that I'm almost halfway there. Things are
Sure.
Things are only getting better, and I think there's so many new verticals to expand to that weren't around 10 years ago.
100%.
So I think every year goes by, it becomes more solidified that you can do this.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not arguing that, but I'm just saying like in terms of like influencer years, that's a really, really
Well, I
rare
also
breed.
think that your current job will open up plenty of other doors and avenues in the event that your YouTube channel doesn't work out.
Here's the thing I've noticed too, is that it seems like a lot of the YouTubers that have burnt out, a lot of those were channels that had been impacted by an algorithm, or channels that were like prank channels. I think business is a new niche that maybe it suffers the same fate, or maybe we see all of a sudden the SEC just cracks down on everybody talking about investments and the algorithm shifts away. I think that's always a chance.
Yeah.
But I think it's a niche that's more akin to like a talk show host,
right,
than it is a YouTuber.
Yeah, no, I see it too. There's just a lot of risks, but yeah, we'll see. You're right. There's a lot of new verticals that have never existed before.
But also the connections that Jack has made. I would say, let's say that YouTube just disappears tomorrow. Right. And I'm like, listen, Jack, we're shutting it all down. There's nothing here anymore. Best of luck. The connections that Jack has made 100% within a week, you'd be able to find a job earning almost the same thing working for somebody else.
I don't think I would have to go back to college.
No.
That's the way I'll put it.
Like I would just know 3 people off the top of my head that would hire you in an instant. Just if you're like, hey, just I need a job. I need a,
I would do it.
Thanks, Andrei.
I'll have the Magikarp and Jack.
Yeah. That makes me feel really good.
But so that's a way to look at it. And I think the same thing would also apply to someone who's going in with 40K. It's not about the 40K. It's about the bigger picture.
100%.
But you need to be the type of person who's willing to do anything.
You can't talk about that. People that get it. And the people that don't will never see it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's where we went wrong. I was very literal about like, you got to be willing to do anything and giving like just random examples. But I guess it's something that should not be.
Ask,
yeah, I guess so.
People were upset in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not going to comment because I don't want to get canceled.
I mean, listen, if this so far is our biggest controversy lately,
then we're doing all right,
I think we're doing okay.
How'd your video do today?
Just kidding. Andrei.
It was a 10.
It was a 10.
Now we could talk about it, man. It was a 10. So for those that don't know, when you post a video on YouTube, it ranks it out of the top 10 videos.
Yeah.
Like your last 10. Like how did this one perform relative to the last 10 you did? A 1 means it's the best video of you posted after the last 10.
Yeah.
And a 10 means it's the worst. You never want to get a 10. Because especially as your channel is growing in subscribers, like a 10 means it was even worse than like...
How much did that ruin your day?
This one I expected to get a 10. Yeah.
Okay,
so I would say it ruined my day like 25%. Normally, if I did a video like this and I was like, it's going to be a 1 and it's a 10, that's like 80%. Like my day's ruined. I can't do anything afterwards.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It affects you like that as well?
I'm so depressed for the rest of the day.
That's why you came in such a good mood. That's why you're like, I'll do it tonight.
What'd you have today?
2.
Number 2,
Yeah. It's good.
I had a 2. I'm so happy about that. Because I've been getting 1s and 2s for like
the
last month.
Same
Really?
for us. It's all been like 1s, 2, 3, 3s, 4.
Crazy.
Like if we got a 4 once and we're like, the 4 is still equivalent to a 1 a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool because as long as you're getting anything between 1 through 5,
Yeah.
that means your channel has an upwards trajectory.
Yeah, I know.
100%. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This one I knew was going to get a 9 or a 10 going into it because it was the interview with iDubbbz. And I knew that was not going to hit with my audience off the bat. So I knew YouTube was going to analyze that video and be like, all right, Graham's audience is not watching it. The people who are clicking on it right now are not watching it all the way through. So it's probably not going to be that good of a video to recommend to Graham's audience.
Do you think that's going to kill your momentum?
No, because my Wednesday video, I feel like, is going to be good enough to get that audience back.
Okay.
I would never post 2 bad videos in a row.
Is it crypto related?
No.
It's not.
No.
Oh.
No, it's not. But I know my Wednesday is good enough to pick this up. So I figured today is a perfect day to post this because it's a holiday.
Right.
And typically what's happened with videos like this is that they'll do really bad for a week. And then all of a sudden the algorithm finds, let's say, the iDubbbz community and then starts recommending it really heavy to that. So Michael Reeves was the same thing. I think his video was a 10 by like 50%. So like the 9 was like double a 10.
Wow.
And I was really upset about that because I thought we nailed it on the title and thumbnail. A week later, within like 3 days, got 1 million views.
What?
Yeah.
Same as the Michael Reeves one that we posted on the second channel. After a couple days, it was literally like 30% of a 9.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Really bad.
Like literally less than 20,000 views in the first like 4 or 5 days, which is wildly underperforming for the channel. But now it's 200,000 plus views.
300. It's
Is
like
it
350,000.
actually? So it's easily a win.
That's one of those videos that just consistently every day gets like a few thousand views a day.
It just had to hit with the correct audience.
Right. So right now what YouTube is doing is it's saying like, okay, Graham's audience doesn't like this video. Where could we show this video where it might be a hit? So it's going to test probably over the next week. And when it finds that vein of just users like this are watching it, we're going to recommend it to more people that watch these sort of videos, then it's going to take off.
I'm water.
What?
Do you have some water?
Of course, yeah.
I apologize for
that.
everybody to break. My voice is like disappearing.
Still have a very soothing voice.
Yeah.
No, it's not a soothing voice.
How much did you make the entire last year?
Last year, 1.8 mil. A little over 1.8.
1.8 million?
Oh, a little over that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more than I thought.
More than you thought?
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
thought
watch that video?
No.
Yeah. You did a really good breakdown.
That video is, thank you.
Yeah.
That video's
Sorry.
really
How many views does that have
Almost
now?
a million. 881.
The IRS has entered the chat. There's going to be someone who's commenting that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But this year, I'm already over 500,000 or like 600 grand. That's insane.
Congratulations, man.
2 months.
What are you gonna be doing with it all? No, but besides
going into GameStop.
But I mean for the rest of the year. Do you have a plan, like an investing plan of what you're gonna be doing with it?
Just besides the usual consistent stuff? No.
So okay, like dividends,
Yeah.
crypto.
Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah.
to get super wealthy? Is that like something that you desire? Like
No. That was never like a huge goal of mine.
just comfortable?
Before, my goal was to get to financial independence, retire early, right? Which was to have just $1 million and then make $40K a year passively. That was like the goal. And now that I've surpassed it, I'm like, Fat Fire is the next goal. So for anybody who's not familiar, Fat Fire is 10 million, 5 to 10.
Is that what it
I think
is?
so.
5 to 10. Yeah.
I've seen some where they say it's 3.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Or maybe
But,
you're right.
yeah.
Maybe you're right. Like that would be.
But then as soon
super
as you
cool.
hit that, then it's going to be extra XXL fire.
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't
Yeah,
want it
there's-
to always be that thing. There's like a proverb, and I forget how it goes exactly, but it's like a couple's walking down the beach. There's like a yacht out there in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's like a billionaire yacht, and then like the husband and the wife, and she's like, "Wow, that's such a nice boat." He's like, "Yeah, but I'll have something that guy will never have." She's like, "What's that?" Enough.
Oh yeah, I've
wow.
heard that.
That's
It's
deep.
so good.
That's deep.
It's like that is so hard to do in life, is to say when is enough enough. When do you quit and just enjoy life? Or I know you're enjoying your work, but is there more to life than working? Is there more to life? Maybe is there like contributing back to society? Is there philanthropy? Is there like a deeper meaning? I don't know.
But you haven't found what you enjoy or a purpose like that yet?
I think just like Casey Neistat did such a great breakdown of this, where it's like we all as human beings have 2 sets of problems in this world. We have the money problem, which is something we've all faced with, which is like, how do I afford rent? Where do I live? How do I pay for food? And then all of us have that problem. But once you solve that problem, you get to the next tier, which is something we all will forever have. What is the meaning of life? Purpose, love, relationships. Like that will never go away, no matter how many resources and how much money you have. So I don't know the answer to that, because I don't know if I feel like I've conquered the money problem yet. And I feel like I have, like you definitely have.
Yeah, but I wouldn't quit. I love it. I think
know,
it's
I know.
different
That's
for
not the
everybody.
point.
Yeah.
I love it too.
Yeah.
It's not like about quitting. It's like, are you fulfilled with life to this degree, or do you think there's something bigger than what you're doing now?
I'm 100% fulfilled right now.
Really?
Yeah, the only thing I'm missing right now is the aquarium ground thing. Yeah.
Materially, I'm
Right.
so satisfied.
Right.
I want for nothing materially. Like I don't
Except a
want
Tesla.
No, I don't even care. Like it's whatever. The only reason I want a Tesla is because it's one of the safest cars on the road. And it's crazy because now that I have money, I'm extra fearful about like life stuff.
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking that the other day. I don't want to like ever jinx it by saying that, but like I really want to live. I want to be like stop all the way at stop signs.
That's
It's like
my-
it's not worth it.
That's my
anymore to put myself at risk on anything.
That's you might
my
be getting
f-
into dangerous
That's
territory.
No,
my
I
fear
don't.
is that once you get to a certain level in life, you accrue this stuff, this wealth, whatever it is, resources, you start to become more conservative and protect what you have rather than take risks. Risks in life, in love, in everything. You stop taking those risks because you're afraid of losing what you have and what you've built.
No, I disagree. I think it's because you don't need to take those risks anymore.
I don't think it's because of a necessity. It's because you want to protect what you have, which is why I have this newfound fear and you have it too.
No, I enjoy life so much that I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize it. Like, why take the risk
That's literally what
of
I'm
driving
saying.
faster?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want it to disappear. So, that's one of the struggles is like, well, I don't know. Do you want to live carefully or do you still want to take risks? I don't know. But like, materially, I feel fulfilled 100%.
And you don't elsewhere though.
What do you mean?
Feel fulfilled.
No, I feel fulfilled with love. Like I love my girlfriend Corey. She's great. But I don't know. Sometimes like, you know, if you're a dreamer, if you're an artist, you're just like, oh, there's something more to life. I don't know what it is. But I'm not saying I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm just saying like maybe there's something more.
I always feel that same way too. Like that I haven't filled the cup to the brim.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll ever feel that way.
I agree.
And I think that the closest that you can get to that is by having kids. At least I'm banking on it because I
think you're 100% right.
I want to feel that.
You know what
fulfilled.
kids gives you? It gives you, like my friend Tyus talks about this a lot. He's great. He talks about, because like he lost his job, he lost his wife, he like lost all of his sense of self-worth, right? And he was like on the brink of like, you know, doing something bad. And he found the solution to it, which was purpose, which is like, if you have no purpose in this world, like why do you exist, right? So if you find purpose and meaning, then you'll always have a reason to find your life fulfilling. And for some people that is kids, for some people that's a job, for some people that like their cat, their dog, whatever. So it's kind of an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've kind of found your purpose and your meaning, which is to do what you're doing, which is we both find solace or like satisfaction in helping people financially. That's a cool, that's definitely, I think, has given us a huge advantage, that it gives us meaning to what we do. And it gives us the other big thing, which is recognition. And I think like as human beings, we all need recognition for what we do. Without it, it's like, it's hard. If you don't get praised sometimes, you're like, hey, you're doing a good job. It's hard. You know, you need that reward. So being in our position, I think, is one of the most like fortunate positions ever. But, you know, sometimes I'm like, you know, do I just do this forever until like what? Like, I don't know. Is there an end goal to this? Do you travel the world at some point?
I think I would be feeling the same thing if it was just like, I got to keep making 3. By the way, you want to hold the mic this way? This way. Yeah.
This way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's right there. I think I'd be feeling the same way if I was just like, I got to keep posting 3 videos a week indefinitely. But I don't know. I feel like there's so much more beyond that. Like once I started getting into like angel investing and then coming out with a coffee thing and coming up with all these other little projects, there's so much more that you could just continually grow and evolve from.
Yeah, but I just feel like all of those things are tools. Like those are experiences, sure, right? Like a game that you got to figure out, like a little Rubik's Cube. It's fun to solve it. But still, those are just the tools, and I don't think that's the end result. Like I don't think I would be satisfied if I just kept discovering more tools to make me more money. Like I know there's
the fun though, but it's
I know
the fun though, and it's you're doing you're hanging out with your buddies
100%,
and like
100%. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying I don't know if that's the end result of what I think is the most satisfying. I'm not saying I don't want to go through that, because that's why we're like starting, you know, our group. It'd be cool. Like how, you know, are we going to get to $100 million valuation? Are we going to create products? All that stuff's cool. But like, I'm not like, when I look into the future of my life, I'm not seeing a chain of these events over and over and being satisfied with it. I don't know if I see that satisfaction. If I got 100 million, like I'm just like, okay, cool. Like then what? You'll find more ways, but is that really, you just like keep inventing new ways of making money and that's fun? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not saying I know the answer.
Right.
I don't know the answer, but I don't feel like that is the answer.
I think that everyone has their own answer probably.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah. For sure. What do you see? Do you find yourself like being some like billionaire and you're like, all right, cool?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
I wouldn't pay that much. Billy, that's too much.
I think that for me, I'm more similar to you, where I think like it's easier for me to have like a simpler life.
Yeah.
And I think I would find more fulfillment out of that.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily need a bunch of money or anything.
Right.
I just want to have enough.
Yeah. See, for Graham, I understand where he's coming from. I don't think he needs money, because part of the reason why we do what we do is because it's like a game. It's like a puzzle, and it's fun to keep solving it. And as a result, we make money, so it's cool. So for Graham, that's enough. This puzzle, it's like an infinite puzzle that is never solved. Mm-hmm. I get the appeal in that. But I'm just saying, for me, I don't know if that's what I foresee my life being. Like I agree with you. It's more about...
Do you have any idea though?
I think when I thought about it, for me, I do think it's about kids. It's about like family and just maybe philanthropy, maybe I'll feel fulfillment, because I love to do magic and like cardistry for people. And the reason that I do is not because people give me credit for being like talented. It's because I get to live through them the first moment that I saw magic. And when I see the joy and like the wow in their face, I feel like I get to live through that person for the first time. Their reaction, I get to experience it myself, because once I know how a trick is done, it's ruined. But when I see somebody else have that same reaction, I'm like, oh my God, awesome. That's what it felt like. And so, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like there's more to life than just solving an infinite puzzle that, brings you money. That's fun. I'm not saying it's not.
You need an aquarium.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that'll fix everything.
I have to say, I've been so much happier when I got the piano. I'll put playing like 30 minutes, sometimes like 45 minutes a day of the piano.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Once you get it, there's going to be something else, right?
The piano?
No, once you get the aquarium, there will be something else.
Maybe. I mean, you want maybe a bigger aquarium at some point. I don't know. What?
There's this funny meme or joke, and I don't remember how it goes, but it's like, your happiness lies at the other side of this aquarium. It's just like the most like trivial, like, well, obviously you'd be happier once you get that aquarium. Like, that's the solution. But like, the reality is like, you're never gonna be happy. But then we get like too philosophical, where it's like, I don't think we were ever meant to be happy, right? Like,
what do you mean? Elaborate.
Like, we were never meant to be happy as humans. We're always on this like hamster wheel of like chasing what we think is happiness.
We
like,
have to be, because otherwise we'd just be complacent and do nothing, and then we wouldn't evolve as a
for sure.
mankind. We'd all just be, we'd still be cavemen.
But that's what I'm saying. So like with you making money, like the reason I said it's just a tool. So you are stuck in this obsession of the tool itself. And I've been there, and like I know what it is, because I've done this with cardistry, with magic, with cinematography. I've gotten so involved in the tool and perfecting the craft that is the tool, to forget that there's a reason this tool exists. You leverage the tool to tell a greater story than the tool itself.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like, yes, money, cool, whatever, companies, products, awesome. But those resources you can leverage into something that is more meaningful. Maybe
no, but that is helping people with financial literacy. I think if I were doing something that were destructive,
right,
that had a negative impact on people, even if I was making double the money, I wouldn't feel good about it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, do you find like for me, if I was going to go down your route of just let's make as much money as possible, I feel like I wouldn't get enjoyment of it until I utilize it somehow.
But it's never been about making as much money as possible. It's just, that's just been a byproduct.
You're right.
Loving.
You know what I'm saying, though. I didn't mean that. You're right. But I'm just saying, do you not like have this urge to be like, all right, cool, now I have all these resources. How can I best leverage it to maybe make use of it that isn't necessarily for me? Because I know it's not for you. When I'm making money, at this point, it's like whatever. But do you want to leverage it somehow? Do you want to build something? Do you want to?
I'm still in the growth phase. Like I'm not even there yet. I still want to continue growing. Like
no, I'm with you.
And I'm sure at some point it might change, but
I'm with you too. Yeah.
Do you think it ever will change though?
Maybe not. But I think as long as I'm happy doing what I'm doing, I think that's all that matters.
100%. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
Do you guys think that animals are happy?
Yes. Yeah.
So do you, Andrei?
I've never thought about that.
Your dog is for sure happy.
Yeah, I think he's happy when I give him like chicken.
Right, right. Do you think that they're capable of feeling happy? Like
I think
sheep
so.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
So you think that the whole happiness complex is just a human issue?
Possibly. Yeah.
Why? Is that just because we're like self-aware?
I don't think it's just humans. I think it's any evolved species. Like I think monkeys are capable of being
happy.
Are capable of being unhappy. I think if you put a monkey in a cage with no socialization, they're going to be miserable. Same thing with dogs. I think with the right conditions, they will be happy. But I think some animals that are capable of those feelings would not be happy under those certain conditions.
For sure. Yeah. I think if I was honest with myself, I think I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life now. Like I've never been happy.
Is it happiness or is it being content?
No, I think it's truly happy. Yeah, I don't think I'm like content.
We all got the same notification. I'm just curious if we meet Kevin.
I got a meet Kevin notification.
He comes up in every podcast.
Stimulus.
Yep, $1,400. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Every podcast somehow organically Kevin comes up, and it's now become the running joke of the channel. It's like every podcast. It's like, oh, when's Kevin gonna come up? His second stimulus update for the day.
Speaking of Kevin, Jesus Christ, he's like crushing it. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Kevin's the man.
Jesus.
I know. His stock market portfolio, I'm listening to him. In 1 year, it seems like he's figured out the entire stock market.
You think so?
Or he's gotten really lucky
Right.
But I would say his analysis of stocks so far has been really spot on.
Right.
I love his in-depth breakdown videos on like, I think he had one on what was the car manufacturer?
Neo?
Yeah, maybe it was Neo. I love that video. And it got, I'm sure for him, like a 10 out of 10 by far, but I
Right.
love the video.
No, yeah.
And
Kevin's
he picked
brilliant.
it up so fast.
Yeah, Kevin's brilliant. And it's cool is that he has like so much of a drive and a passion even at this point.
Yeah.
And he has like a family and
We don't know
kids
how
and-
he does it. Because
I
that's
don't
the thing. We
understand how
see
he
him
does
on
it,
there
too.
at like 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Still like going, same energy. And then 5 a.m. the next morning, he's on it again.
I don't get that.
He was on Clubhouse
Yeah.
very, very late last
Yeah, it
night.
was like 11 o'clock
Yeah, and he
last
sent me in
night.
a sleepy,
past
sleepy face
midnight.
emoji.
Past midnight?
Yeah, he sent a sleepy face emoji. He's like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah, meanwhile.
This is too slow
Yeah.
for my fast brain.
I know.
Do you think you suffer from perfectionism?
Yeah. It gets to the point where like I find myself in a loop and it's been like 2 hours and I'm like, I need to like go forward. I obsess about a detail that I think nobody would notice.
Like what?
Like, I'll do a take and I'm like, oh, that didn't sound right. I'll do it over again. And I'll maybe like be stuck for half an hour on something that's a minute long. It happens from not all the time, but like sometimes it happens. And then I force myself to get over it. Another time I'll be editing something and I'll be like, oh, I got to add this. I've become a lot better at it. But when I first started, it would take me so long to like edit or do something. Just, yeah, it's crazy.
I get this every now and then when I'm trying to say one sentence, but you
Yeah.
start saying it too often that you mispronounce like
Yeah.
one word.
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, but
And then I
like,
can't say it again.
yeah, it's crazy. But like, just some people are really gifted. Like Kevin, he could just talk. He just watch the news
Yeah,
and
I know.
just reiterate it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. That's a talent. He'll make a great asset.
I asked him if he's a perfectionist at all, and his answer was just no. That was it. Just like not at all.
I'm good.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, no, Kevin's definitely someone we all look up to, I'm sure. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't
do,
believe I'm
yeah.
sitting here and talking with you. Like, that's awesome.
Why?
Yeah, because I
Really?
used to watch you in 2019. You had like 300K subs.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. I'm sure he'll get to 1 million at some point. And then you took off. And I was like, oh,
You're
that's
taking
crazy.
off.
Yeah, no, I'm taking off.
No,
but,
it's an honor to be sitting here with you, Andrei.
Yeah.
oh, thank you. But it's crazy the fact that like, you know, when you want, like you with
Right.
iDubbbz, like it's the same feeling. It's
really?
like, wow.
Do you still have that? There's no way you still have that feeling.
Nah, you're old news, man.
Now you show up, you're late. It's like, oh, let's get this over with. I gotta get going.
Yeah, no, it's such a cool feeling. Yeah, and I don't take it for granted.
Well, we want you on the podcast as much as possible because these episodes do really well and the conversations are amazing.
Yeah. See, I want to do once a month where it's like you, me, and Jeremy. We invited Kevin.
Well,
Kevin
we're doing
can't
that
travel.
already
No, on the podcast. It's the
I see.
podcast episode.
for this.
Yeah. For this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jeremy's are so good because he really goes off on like the stock market and the economy.
Sure.
And I just listen. I listen to what he has to say on that.
Right.
But I think all of us together would really get in like a good rhythm on that.
For sure. Well, which is why we're making that channel.
Right.
Which should be
Millennial
super
money.
epic. That's right. That's gonna be epic. I'd love to hear people's like comments if anyone's left watching this video.
There will be people
Any
watching.
ideas?
Yeah, we
for
get
us.
about 20% at the very end. So like 20% of the people.
20% on YouTube,
Yeah.
but on like Anchor, like the streaming services,
Spotify, yeah.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's like maybe 70.
I would love to hear people's ideas for what they would like for us to talk about or do, because I'm sure there is a channel like that already where like people take risks or like they compete against each other for fun investments.
money
or, like,
challenges. I think
money
is,
challenges.
That would be fun. Like we
It's
should take
so
a grand and we
fun.
go do
Graham,
something like
that's
that. Yeah.
If
Whether
I ever
it's-
started a channel, that's what it would be.
Whether
Money
it's literally a
challenges.
casino that we go to and we like see who can win more money,
Yeah.
or you know,
Weren't we going to do that on your channel?
I want to do that. Yeah, that
So
was
let's do it.
literally what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. Yeah. You said you hooked it up with Red Rock.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so whenever you want to do it, just let us know.
Okay.
and Andrei, you are onboarding help at some point.
I'd like to. I want to start hiring. I need somebody who's a good editor.
Who could do laundry?
No, I don't even do my laundry. No, I'm good.
So if you've made it to this point
Yeah.
and you want to make a video
Yeah.
and a title and and title it and thumbnail it,
Sure.
and address Andrei.
Yeah, preferably if you live in Vegas though, because like I'd like to
Oh, yeah.
work face to face.
Yes, 100%.
So I would need to meet them and just like hang out, and I think ideally at some point we'd probably like live with them, because then you have to. I can't like send footage. It helps that you guys are together all the time.
Well, then you have somebody work from a home office if they don't want to necessarily live
That's
with you.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Which I have. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay.
No one's watching it anymore, so it's all good.
Nobody's watching this. No. That's,
I'm just gonna assume like 10 people are left at this point.
Be lucky if it's 10.
anyway,
Kevin.
if you want to pitch anybody to reach out to you,
Yeah,
I think it would be worth it.
Yeah, sure. How do I include my email? Yeah, you
I'll
can
put it in the
find-
description.
Yeah, and my BlockFi code too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign up for
Yeah.
BlockFi.com/Andre.
Would you actually hire somebody?
I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
What do you want them to do?
Just edit
Editing?
and shoot. Help me out. Yeah.
You don't need help. Anything else?
Basically
just
like
editing.
Jack. Yeah.
Andre needs a Jack.
Yeah.
Andre needs
Your
a
name
Jack.
has to be Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
There was someone else that we reached out to earlier whose name was also Jack.
No
And I
way.
thought it would be so funny to get 2 Jacks.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Be like, Jack, I need your
Jack
help.
1,
And you're like, what?
Jack 2.
Yeah.
Jack
Jack 1, Jack 2.
I would like, yeah, preferably if your name is Jack, would be, that's like extra 10 points.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks
Your
for
name's got to
having
be
me.
Jack or Macy. Would be really funny too.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you. Is there
Thank
anything
you for
else?
coming on.
No. I love you guys. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching, and thank you for watching my videos.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want to look for we should do the outro. Ready?
Yeah.
Cool. So, Andre, thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate it. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Oh, you know what? You got to tell them to smash the like button. Look at that camera and tell them to smash the like button.
Where did this come from?
I don't know.
We were just talking normal, and he's like, all right, we got to do the outro. All right, guys, all right. It
gets so hyped.
just like energized. Like, where did this come from?
let's destroy that like button.
HGH.
Yeah.
All right. What was I going to say? Smash the like button?
Destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. That camera right there.
Destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe and
Get your 2 free stocks down below in the description. And
go to BlockFi.com/Andre to get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin.
when you deposit
And-
$2 million in the platform.
And
Otherwise, you get $1. I don't know how much it is.
don't forget to get those free Weeble stonks and check out my Patreon.
Cool. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Funny.
Where's your
gotta
magic?
get the outro.
Where's the magic card? The magic carp.
You guys aren't me, right?
No.
Did you really? I did. Yeah, it was over. That was the big reveal. No, I made sure it wasn't like sitting anything. Oh, okay. I just put it there. Okay. Oh yeah, so we're gonna be starting a joint channel. Get this, between Andre, me, Jeremy, and Kevin.
What?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because it just happened.
When?
Now.
It's gonna
Wait,
be
what?
epic.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just right now.
It's official
Really?
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yes, yes, right now.
Right now. This is the announcement video.
Yeah, we've never talked about it.
No,
Yeah,
you're
no, this is just-
Graham, you get me way too much. I'm not going to believe this. I refuse to believe
I
it.
message Jack all the time now. Just show him the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Did you not see it?
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just a meme.
No, Kevin made
not.
a whole channel, and we're making banners. Like, look at that. There's like different ideas.
That's the other banner.
Yeah. Should we tell them what the channel name is here?
Yeah, what is it called?
Millennial Money.
Millennial Money.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's not the name of the channel.
Why not?
Millennial Money?
That's
Yeah.
so great.
Is that not good?
No, I think it's good, but it is not super original, but it's good.
Yeah, no, it's good for SEO.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
CNBC is going to have to change the name now to do something else.
CNBC does not
Yeah.
own Millennial Money.
No,
That's
I know.
just their subheading.
Right.
But, we looked at Millennial Money channels. We're going to be the biggest one.
Yeah.
Wait, when? No, you guys aren't. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to meet once a week
Yes.
for 1 hour.
Yeah,
And
probably
just-
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays, I think it's 6.
After 6, yeah.
And we're just going to record a 1 hour video.
Yep.
And we'll just talk
And
about whatever.
we'll do Clubhouse too.
Yeah.
We'll do it simultaneously so people can tune in and ask us questions if they want, and
Yeah.
it could be like a live panel.
Yeah, it's meant to be more of like a live panel sort of thing.
Oh, so you're gonna have like people asking questions and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
or we just chit chat about whatever.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Our goal, this is just me making stuff up, but
What?
I was typing to everybody in the chat room. I was like, yeah, our goal is gonna be $100 million valuation in 5 years.
Oh, that'd
be sick.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
We could do it.
We could do it.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah. And we're all gonna just invest. We're gonna be young investors. Just
Yeah,
throw
we're
money at
gonna
things,
yellow
yeah.
into Dogecoin, all the solid blue chip investments that
Right.
people like John Bogle would approve of. Things like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the 41st episode of the
episode.
Ever.
Jesus Christ.
41st ever episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. My name is Andrei, and so far the podcast has made
This is a lot harder than you make it seem.
$40,000. Cool. All right,
Dude,
good luck.
when I'm pressured, I can't do it.
All right.
What was I saying again?
Welcome back to the 41st ever episode of the Iced Coffee Hour.